Hello, BookTube. I've got some mail for you today on a steadily overcast Monday. The morning was bright and clear, but there's a massive storm currently around the Great Lakes that is inching its way east. And it could hit Boston. Right now, the forecasts are that it's going to be rainy or the strong chance of rain here for the whole of the rest of the week. The more I look at it, the more I think it's going to move north. So it could hit New Hampshire and Vermont or Maine, but we shall see. In any case, the morning was beautiful. The day is getting more and more somber as it goes along, but there's still mail. I have a periodical here, Archaeology Magazine. I think this was, if I remember correctly, this was a deal that one of you gave me, where it was one of those things where if you renew your subscription, you can give a free subscription to somebody else. I think that's what's going on here. I definitely didn't subscribe to Archaeology, but this is my second issue, and I've been loving it. Just loving it, learning so much with every issue. So that was the periodical, not exactly literary, but still. And then the mail is 2 boxes. No other packages, just boxes. So we'll deal with a little box first. I don't know what these are. I don't think either one of them is from a publisher, and that means they could be violations of rule number 1. Entirely possible. So let's see what this first one is. What is this? Okay. What is this? Oh my. Okay. Do we have any note that makes sense out of this? No, we don't. So there are little notes in here, but they don't make sense out of anything. Okay, these are 4 books. Somebody sent me 4 books, all from the same author. The author is James P. Cody. Stylish looking things. It looks like they're thrillers. The first one is The French Killing. We have the standard silhouetted or blacked out person in front of a location. Here the backdrop is the barrel of a gun. This is the 4th in a series. Oh, so maybe I got all 4 of them. Brian Peterson is hired by the French embassy to protect a visiting millionaire who gets himself murdered anyway. Now Peterson relentlessly hunts the killers, a cold-soaked pursuit that spans continents and leads to a global conspiracy that only he can destroy. Okay, so The French Killing is number 4. Okay, then number 3, this is Your Daughter Will Die! Exclamation point. A conservative senator's daughter is kidnapped by a leftist revolutionary group demanding a huge ransom. Peterson is hired to make the exchange with the terrorists and then make them pay. Okay. All right. So there you've got the background. The design is the same, but the background is different. There you have the Lincoln Memorial. Then we have... okay, this is the first one. Top Secret Kill by James Cody. This is the first book. The opening adventure in the legendary DC Man series of breathtaking thrillers, back in print for the first time in 50 years. Can that possibly be true? Okay, well, you're not saying so. And okay, it says copyright 2024 by the estate of Peter Rohrbach. Okay, that copyright information is incorrect then. Well, let's see what we have here. So this is Brian Peterson is an ex-military intelligence officer turned DC lobbyist recovering from his family's tragic death in a car accident. With his lobbying business in the toilet, he becomes a political fixer who uses his sharp intellect, his vast political connections, and his lethal combat skills to solve sensitive problems. Someone is leaking top secret documents from a congressional subcommittee to foreign spies in Germany. Okay, these are back in print for the first time in 50 years, and now 50 years later, the foremost suspect would be a former president of the United States. He wouldn't be leaking them for intelligence reasons. He would be selling them, and is currently selling them. Which could lead to an embarrassing scandal and spark a devastating global crisis. It's kind of amazing the ramifications that could come from such a person. Maybe that person would be recorded on a phone call telling the president of a beleaguered, invaded country facing the guns of the Russian military that if you'll cook up some lie about my political opponent, I might release the money that has been promised to you by Congress for the weapons that you'll use to defend yourself. Otherwise, you can go to hell in a handbasket for all I care. That couldn't happen. That's obviously stranger than fiction. Peterson is hired to plug the leak any way he can. And this new edition includes an explosive introduction by private investigator Tom Simon. Okay. Okay, so back in print for the first time in 30 years, or 50 years. And then the final one, this would be book two, yes. This is Search and Destroy. So aside from Your Daughter Will Die, pretty bad titles. Peterson doesn't buy it when a U.S. senator spearheading an investigation into organized crime blows his own head off on the eve of exposing a vast criminal conspiracy. So the D.C. man picks up where the senator left off and won't stop until he takes down the mob. Okay, well, I'm going to have to do some research here. But yeah, this is just saying copyright of the estate of the author, 2024. When I get publisher's note, here we go. James P. Cody was a pseudonym for Peter Rohrbach, a former Catholic priest of the Carmelite order who lived, prayed, and served in Washington, D.C. rectory until he left the priesthood in 1966. He wrote the first book in the D.C. Man series as a side project while he was a priest. He wrote this book and 2 subsequent novels in the series after he left the priesthood. To further confuse things, the name that Rohrbach was given at birth was actually James Cody. During his childhood, his parents died and he was adopted by the Rohrbach family and took their last name. But when he joined the priesthood, he changed his name from James to Peter Thomas. Search and Destroy was originally published in 1974. And the details about Rohrbach/Cody and the series were first revealed by Tom Simon in the Paperback Warrior blog in 2018. Okay. And these are back in print for the 50th anniversary edition. Okay. I'm not sure. I mean, I would only recognize them by the cover. I'm not sure that I've read these. Any of them. That story sounds really fascinating. Of course, right now, sitting on the couch in the fainting couch in Hyde Cottage, I don't believe a single syllable of what I just read to you. I'm going to have to just exhaustively verify all of that. But if it's true, what a story! So great, there you go. 50-year-old reissues of DC thrillers. What'll that be like? Wow, I wonder if any contemporary at the time politicians are thinly veiled here or even mentioned by name. That'll be fascinating. All right, so that was box number 1. That was the little box. Now we'll deal with the big box, which is, I mean, the little box I guess did come from a publisher. Who is this that does this? Brash Books. They might have sent all of these to me. I don't think one of you did. I think they might have done that and just wanted me to see it, maybe consider writing something about it. This thing, though, is taped like Fort Knox, and usually when that happens, it's sent from a private individual. Here, let's get the scissors involved and just cut the hell out of this, because it is... See, publishers know better. Usually publishers know better. But ordinary citizens always pack things as though they were going to Mars. That's how I always think about it. They're packed as though they were going for interplanetary travel when that is not necessary. I don't know what people think happens in U.S. Postal Service mail sorting rooms, but it isn't 800-pound silverback gorillas. Okay, so what have we got here? Just this huge amount of stuff. Okay, let's get those out of here. Even the baby is alarmed. Even she is alarmed. Just what's going on? Okay, we have books. Okay. Well, who is this from? Who's doing this to me? Oh, it's from the Cedarburg Public Library in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. Oh, so this is from their library book sale. There was a library book sale there, and I made shrill demands to my producer, and he actually did it. Oh, bless him. I guess I'll give him another try. I guess I will. So he sent me books from their library book sale. What do we have here? Alyssa Cole, who's terrific. This is a Duke by default. An Alyssa Cole I have not read. But everything I've read by her I've really liked. So glad to have it. Here, let's fish you up off the ground here. What else is in here? A.J.B. Taylor's biography of Bismarck. Boy, this is in good shape, too. This will take a read, even though it's a mass market paperback. I will need to reinforce this a tiny bit. I love A.J.P. Taylor. He is totally eclipsed now. No one remembers him or reads him. I think he's terrific. And I love this book. It may be, no offense to Crankshaw, but it may be my favorite Bismarck biography. What else? What is this next thing? It's, oh, goodness gracious. Oh, look. All right. Well, this would definitely count as contemporary horror. This is Cedarburg history, lore, and legend. This is all about the history of Cedarburg, Wisconsin. There we go. That's our recording studio right there. Okay, all right. We have a pamphlet. Trees of Distinction, a walking introductory tour of the trees of Cedarburg. And there you have all the different trees of Cedarburg, notable trees of Cedarburg, Wisconsin. And the black walnut, the basswood, and the hawthorn beam are all better producers than the one I have in the booth. You could put the tree in there. They do a better job. I'll take him back. I wish I knew how to quit him. What else we got here? Oh no! Oh, there's more Cedarburg stuff. Okay, so this is an offshoot of the old Images of America series that some of you may remember from your local bookstore. They take these thin little books. They take archival photos and just do a volume on the history of everywhere in the world. My God, I could not keep those things in stock in my own bookstore in Boston. And this is the one for Cedarburg. This is there we are. This is they were all like this. There's little things like this, and they just give you all the archival stuff from that town. This is going to be everything. Well, I was going to say everything you ever wanted to know about Cedarburg, Wisconsin, but were afraid to ask, but you never did want to know these things. Is this more Cedarburg stuff? It is. This is Sketches of Cedarburg, celebrating 100 years. So this isn't archival photos, this is actual sketches. Look at that. Of a doorway or a mill. That little stone hut there with the tiny little windows where I keep my producer when he's not at work. How wonderful. Oh, this is charming. Okay, well, I'm going to learn a lot about Cedarburg, Wisconsin, I guess. So, like I said, I never know what I'm going to get in the mail. So, a whole bunch of stuff about Cedarburg, Wisconsin in a library hall along with A.J.B. Taylor and Alyssa Cole, and also these things. These James Cody DC thrillers from 50 years ago. And that's the mail. So, normal mail has not come today. One of these boxes was, I'm told here, very early, long before any of the normal delivery services. And one of them, I think, was FedEx, which still leaves the U.S. Postal Service, the guy walking around. He has not shown up. The U.S. Postal Truck, which can make drop-offs all day long, and also FedEx, or rather UPS. None of those things have shown up yet today. So this is unusual for mail. This is just two boxes. It's very unusual. But that means there could be more. We shall see. Little birdie said in my ear that reminded me just recently that it's been a long time since the Steve stream. Maybe if more mail shows up, we can do a Steve stream. Should probably do one tonight anyway. But I'm gonna wrap this up for now. But I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.